Welcome to the New York Professional Spotlight. Host Roman Kirzhner sits down with successful professionals from across New York to uncover the stories, strategies, and expertise behind their achievements.
Hello, good morning, good morning. Welcome to our show. Today's guest is highly respected New York professional Robert Cannon with extensive experience in financing industry. We will discuss his strategies, lessons, and experience that helped him to shape his success. Good morning, Robert. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. All right. So can you just give us a quick snapshot of your professional practices, business?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. So I've been in the business for 35 years. Basically, what I do is I'm like a retirement specialist. So I help people retire. A little bit different than most financial advisors. Most financial advisors are just growing assets. What I look at is how Social Security will impact you, how future taxes will impact you, inflation, sequence of returns risk, IRMA, that's the Part B and Part D of your Social Security, how these things will affect you in retirement and make sure that you have enough retirement income coming in. So it's a little bit different than what most financial advisors look at. They're just looking at growing your assets. So what we look at in depth is how these moving levers will affect you in retirement and to make sure that you'll have enough money to last you for the rest of your life.
Yeah, perfect. That's a perfect subject to talk, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. In your profession, there's many talented young people, and they do approximately mostly the same. What sets you apart and what comes natural to you that other will find challenging?
So, believe it or not, in this industry, it's the fiduciary standard and is something that a lot of firms and advisors have trouble with, because what's best for the client may not be best for the advisor. So what you always want to look for is someone who's acting in a fiduciary capacity to make sure that you put the client's best interests first, number one. Now, that also is a little complicated because there's a side that's an AUM side, assets under management, and then there's the insurance side. So a lot of times, both sides will have a different view on what's best for the client. The real integrated approach is probably what's best for the majority of the clients. Now, yes, if you have not enough assets or a lot of assets, one of those approaches could be best. But most people are in the few $1 million in our area where New York, Connecticut, a little bit wealthier than a lot of the places in in the Midwest. So a few $1 million is the sweet spot. So in that sweet spot, realistically, a combination of both is probably what's best for the client, right? So that's where it's difficult to get the proper advice because most advisors are skewing it towards their viewpoint of, hey, this is the best way for all clients. There's no one best way for all clients.
Yeah, basically what you're talking about, and it can apply to any industry, but specifically when it comes to money, is the trust. From what I read and from your bio, you're becoming like chief financial officer for your clients.
Yes,
and it's
what happens in that situation is they are looking for the proper advice. So they'll go to, let's say, their bank or big brokerage house, and they'll hear specific advice. But when I will expound on what the other advisor told them, and they always come back to me like, well, how come that other advisor didn't give me additional options? Now, there could be many reasons for that, right? There could be just pure ignorance. There could, hey, guess what? In our firm, the big firm, we're not allowed to offer that additional service. Or guess what? This is what's best for me, or the firm, that was best for the client. And that's where people will reach out to me and say, hey, I'm looking for a second opinion because they're telling me that I should invest in these mutual funds. where maybe ETFs is a cheaper option for them. We just had a client recently, and when we did the analysis, I mean, they were saving $2,000 a month in fees.
Yeah.
That's a significant amount of fees, So, and they were just concerned, well, how come our bank didn't let us know this? It's not, in their bank's best interest. They're just doing what's best for the bank, not what's best for the client. So sometimes people are just like blown away by seeing the fees that they're paying and not getting the options that's available in the marketplace because of the firm or the advisor that they're working with.
Yeah, absolutely. Fiduciary commitment comes first. Your client comes first before your personal interest, and I hope it goes to every business. Not all the time, but it should be.
Well, it's funny you said that, because when I got into the business, I actually thought that we were all here to help clients. So, when I started in firm, I don't want to name a lot of the firms that I worked for, but I was surprised by the lack of transparency and the lack of fiduciary responsibility for the firm and the advisors. And I always wanted to do something different where I'm actually acting in the client's best interest. Yeah. So when I finally became a true fiduciary and worked for the client, it just basically transformed my viewpoint of the industry and how I treat my clients.
Yeah. In today's world, especially 25, 26, we all living in AI world, and everyone can be checked and verified. And I'm just curious, just for curiosity, is AI plays any roles in your business as well?
Yeah, AI definitely plays a role. I think it's going to be in every business, to be honest with you. Right now, for us, AI is basically helping, like, with notes and follow up things, but is playing a more pivotal role in a lot of like portfolio monitoring and things like that. And I think it's going to play a role in every industry, honestly.
Yeah, actually, yeah. When it comes to AI, it's people treated it as advisor, but my personal experience and what I can share with anyone, and you probably can share it as well. Trust but verify. AI can hallucinate. Do not trust it.
I had a client one time that they used AI and told me, "Hey, Robert, this is wrong." And I'm like, "Absolutely not wrong. AI is getting information, old information." And then once I showed them, she was like, "Hey, thank you for, like you said, trust and verify, making sure that the AI was actually wrong." So yeah, it's something that right now is in its infancy. I believe is going to get better. I think it can play a role, with financial advisors, but it's definitely not here yet to replace financial advisors for sure.
Absolutely. Some roles cannot be replaced and will not be replaced. Hopefully it will not be replaced.
Thank God.
And if someone wants to become better in what you do, what kind of advice would you give them?
Definitely education. So education in terms of finding out what's out there. So in terms of, there's different products, there's different investments, there's different philosophies. Getting familiar with the different philosophies and different products that's out there is really important, and absolutely acting in a fiduciary capacity. Like when we look to hire people in our firm, that's the first thing that we're looking for, that we're looking for someone who's going to put the client's best interest first. It's all about the client experience, right? So if you come in here, we're looking to better your life, to make sure that your life is better because you're working with us. If we're saving you money in taxes, if we're looking at, your Part B and Part D, making sure that if you pass away, the long-term care aspect of, unfortunately in our area is very expensive, how that's going to impact you. When you pass away, how is that going to go to your kids? Are they going to have a huge tax bomb that's going to hit when you pass away? Or are you going to have that money passed to your kids in a tax efficient manner, where they have the ability to get it completely tax free? And that all requires planning. I tell people all the time, if you don't plan, the government's going to plan for you. And I think it's better if you plan than the government plans for you, for sure.
Yeah, and they definitely have better experience taking your money from you, and you're better off if you know what you're doing and how.
You're better off doing the planning, for sure. I
Yeah.
agree 100%.
Absolutely. And in this business, like in any other business, it's always comes not only with benefits, but with challenges as well. And can you share what the biggest challenge you faced in your career and what did you learn from that?
I think the biggest challenge, honestly, I faced was, that fiduciary responsibility for the client. I remember finding something that was great for the client, right? Like a product. I forgot what it was. It was years ago, but it was, I think it was like a CD. So I found a CD that was better, higher than what we were offering as in the firm. And I told the client that I was able to get him a better number. And when I went to compliance, they told me we're not allowed to offer that. I'm like, well, that's better for the client. And basically the firm told me you offer what is approved here or you can leave. And that was like my wake up call, like, hey, guess what? I need to really act in a fiduciary capacity and do what's best for the client and not have those restrictions that I can't offer the client the best products that's out there. So I think just having the restrictions and really acting that capacity as your advisor, you're, like you said, your CFO, to make sure that I'm bringing you the best product that's out there in the industry.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Can you share if you have any exciting projects for next 6 to 12 months, if you have anything to offer?
Yeah, right now, honestly, I think my YouTube channel, being able to reach a bigger audience, we've done local TV and local radio, and it's great for the general area, our tri-state area. But being on YouTube and now reaching a national level, I think that's been something that I think has been transformational in terms of just getting a bigger outreach and really helping more people. And there's a lot of people that really need help, believe it or not, and they just don't know. Sometimes, being in the industry is like you're in this echo chamber and you believe everyone they know. But a lot of people are not familiar with IRMA, are not familiar with like the death tax. So these are things that when you explain it to them, they're blown away and they really need help, in these situations. So being able to help more people in the next 12 to 16 months, just by being on social media has been pretty amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Congratulations with how things are going well with your career. Actually, yeah, you during this interview show over and over again that people who work in having certain lifestyle, certain income, they want to keep it the same level but work less. So they're looking for another opportunity of investment, and you obviously indicated that it's to create income outside of your work. It's better right now than start thinking about it when you're already retired. I can assure that it is true. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. And one thing I just want to expound on that a little bit. You're right, absolutely. But I think the thing that blows people away is when we model out their retirement and they saved, let's say, hypothetically, $2 million, but they're spending $10,000 a month. And they come to me and say, well, my financial advisor said I have enough money to last me for the rest of my life, with a 4% distribution and whatever. And I tell them, if the market cooperates, you're 100% correct.
Yeah.
But if we are down year 1, 2, and 3, and we model that out, there could be some bumpy road here. There could be a major bumpy road. So we need to look at your entire situation and understand and model out inflation, model out sequence of returns risk of losing money in the beginning years, how that will affect you. And sometimes people are blown away that their advisor never did that. And they just gave them this number. Hey, guess what? We're going to be okay. But once I show them, I like to show them, hey, guess what? If you lose in year one, if we're in a bear market and you're spending $10,000 a month, you're actually going to run out of money.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
so once they see that, and I love, for me, the part that I love is the education process. I love educating clients on the different scenarios and the different products that's out there, right? It's really complicated, right? Annuities are very complicated. Life insurance is really complicated. Long-term care is very complicated. Even just having your money invested in different sectors and proper diversification in ETFs over mutual funds, and the different expenses in mutual funds, cash drag fees, transactional fees. These things are very complicated, and they need an advisor who's actually going to be truthful with them and explain to them what's really in their best interest.
I hope that people will understand the importance of what you're saying. I hope that they will take it seriously, and I hope it will play a big role in their life. All right. And thank you very much for that. And if someone would like to connect with you, what's the best way of doing that?
They can email me at rob@experity.wealth.com, rob@experity, experity, wealth.com.
Thank you. Thank you, Robert, for your time. Thank you for sharing your experience. And I hope people will take it absolutely serious. Thanks a lot.
Very much. I appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the New York Professional Spotlight. If you're a successful New York professional with insights to share, visit nyprofessionalspotlight.com/guest and apply to be featured on the show.